Alright, so this one will be specifically about Mandela Effect theories, right? Basically, I believe, and some of these might not even be recognized, but the theories basically on Mandela Effect are pretty much as follows. Some people believe it's multiverse. There's simulation. You got multiverse theory, simulation theory. You got basically theory that I would just call magic theory, which is basically religious and supernatural, that we would have to be in some kind of a spirit realm in order for that sort of shit to be happening. Yeah. Oh, and then there's time travel. Time travel. Is that about 4? Can you think of any others? Yeah, I don't. Not off the top of my head. It would have to be like, time travel, the ability to. Well, I mean, I guess some people think that somebody has the ability to alter physical matter in a physical world. How you do that? I mean, magic. That would pretty much be magic theory. I mean, that's what I would call magic theory or something. You magically made physical matter turn into something different, Magic. Oh, and I'll add one of my own separate theories, which I do not even believe, but I just came up with it, though. That would be the theory of illusion, created by technology, such as scalar technology, the ability to... well, that theory is based on... And I just came up with it because it's another theory. I just randomly, I'm trying to think of all the possibilities, and that's one of them that I tried to think of, but I also do not believe that it's true. I'll tell you about it now, okay? The theory on that, which is just the technological theory, would be that scalar technology has been used to to basically turn the world into like a holodeck. In the holodeck, if a hologram punches you in the face, you're getting punched in the face by a hologram, right? In the holodeck, they can make the Statue of Liberty disappear, right? And move to a different island or whatever. But, I mean, I would imagine that if you were to walk into where the physical Statue of Liberty was, if you were in a physical realm, you might not be able to see it, but I imagine you go bonk and bang your head on it if you walked right into it, So there's a problem with that theory. I'm just saying, there's a theory. I had to add that one because you could do a whole fucking scalar project, you could use a scalar interferometry, scalar interferometry with a holographic overlay to do something like this sort of thing, basically. But it's just unthinkable to I'm already saying I discount that theory. I came up with that theory just to discount it, basically. Nobody else had touched on it, so I had to touch on it. But I see holes in so many of the theories. I see holes in multiverse theory, because a multiverse would indicate that we're randomly jumping around, and the amount of changes that we see and the frequency in which we see changes, would seem to indicate that if we're dealing with randomness, there's a lot of other things that we should see change that haven't changed that, very well could have changed. For instance, many movies where the lead actor of the movie was not the first choice, but the fifth choice or the sixth choice, Arnold Schwarzenegger was not the first choice for Terminator. Uh, honestly, so just a lot of instances of this sort of shit, right? Clint Eastwood was far from the first choice to be Dirty Harry. God damn it. I'm brain farting the hell out of this shit, but, like, like Marty McFly could have been another actor. There's a lot of instances where that could have happened, but have you seen a lead actor in a movie be replaced by another actor? We should have seen that. Just by happenstance, with all the changes that have happened, if we were just jumping around through a bunch of dimensions, you'd think there would be some dimension where Sylvester Stallone would be the, in Terminator, or some, or fucking, like they wanted O.J. Simpson to be the Terminator. Do you know that? Could be an O.J. Simpson Terminator, right? Did you know that, did you know that Frank Sinatra was supposed to be, Dirty Harry? You know that? And there's a bunch of other actors after that, right? Before they got around to Clint Eastwood. I'm just saying, And there was another actor that was supposed to have played Marty McFly, and you know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing should have been changed, right? And there's all sorts of other randomness and things that should have changed that didn't. If it was like random, differences in time and so on and so forth happening throughout different alternate versions of reality in a multiverse, then there should be, because I guarantee with the amount of change that I've seen, if this was a multiverse, then I've been through hundreds, thousands of them, thousands and thousands of them probably by now, right? I would say thousands, possibly tens of thousands or more, with the amount of changes I've seen. So the types of changes that I should have seen by now should be more drastic than they have been. But everything seems to be intentional and so on. So I'm going to count out multiverse, and I'm going to count out the scalar technology. Like illusory realm of scalar technology, basically what I mean by scalar technology is, and this is a theory that nobody ever talks about. This is my own personal one. Again, I'm saying it's wrong. I just thought I would bring it up as a possibility because it is technologically a possibility, but it's also not correct. And that would be the possibility of holographic projection placed over reality using scalar, basically holodeck. Let's just call it holodeck theory. Like it's all a holodeck. They change reality by placing a fake reality of like a holodeck type of thing over top of reality, interlaying. That is false. I'm telling you, I'm wrong. I never said I was right. I'm just saying, taking into account all technological possibilities, that is incorrect. And I believe also so is multiverse theory, based on my observations. All right. Now let's take into account time travel theory. All right. I believe that is also incorrect. Because for one thing, there's certain things that have happened that would be impossible or highly unlikely for a time traveler to be able to do. I mean, even if you talk about some of the most basic things, let's talk about something super basic. Like, if you're a time traveler, how do you go back in time and get somebody to change the way they spell their name? And I'm talking, this is the most basic, easy fucking thing ever. But I want you to really think about it. How do you go back in time and get Sally Fields to change her name to Sally Field? How do you do that? Right? Or so on and so forth. All these different companies where the brand names have changed. Like, you imagine, like, all that would go into that? Like, how much of a pain in the ass that would be? How time consuming? Like, okay. How do you get the Panama Canal to change directions? How do you get continents to change and so on and so forth? You know, how do you go in and fuck with the pyramids? How do you go in and change shit in the Bible? Are you gonna show up as a time traveler? I mean, could you imagine going back? Like, you speak English, right? Right? You think? Okay. Let's see you go back to 1400, 1500s England and speak English to them. Because that's old English. And I don't mean thee and thou. I mean, like, they're the English and down with the P, the blah, 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 blah. You have no idea what the fuck they were saying. You'd have to be, even if you were like one of the greatest linguists in the fucking world, if you went back to like England of the 1500s or even the 1600s and so on, you would stick out like a sore thumb. Get the period dressed right, everything you think you got right. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, try and go back to like ancient Rome to the council, like before the Council of Nicaea. If you went back before the Council of Nicaea, you understand Latin, right? And Greek and so on and so forth. You'd have to be some kind of expert linguist in the first place, and then you'd stick out like a sore thumb. You better bring a lot of fucking gold with you in the first place to have any chance in hell of pulling this off. And then you better find some people that you can buy off to like teach you how to fucking do it, like fit into society over the next couple of years. Absolutely, at the very least. And even once you get to be, fluent in the language of the time and accustomed to the customs and the peoples and so on and so forth, or even with your shit tons of gold, how are you going to get invited to just walk into the room with, like, the Emperor of Rome and some of the richest, most powerful people in society of the time? Like, I'm just gonna be invited to go hang out with the richest, most powerful people of this empire that I'm completely foreign to. Good luck with that. I mean, gold would help if you had a lot of that, Certainly would help, but, you better get to know your way around and so on and so forth, and be like, hey, I want to put smiley faces all throughout the Bible. I literally want to put 100 or a couple hundred smiley faces in the Bible. It's going to be like, yeah, come on, I think that's a good idea. I'm like, yes, we agree to put smiley faces in the Bible. Here's some gold, right? Seriously, look up smiley faces in the Bible. This is just an example, right? How ridiculous that would be to just walk into a fucking room with like the highest level, highest upper echelon fucking, people in the place and just be like, yeah, I'm just a random guy. I have some gold and I've recently learned how to be able to speak in such a way where you can understand me. Here's some gold, put smiley faces in the goddamn Bible, motherfucker. Right? Like, seriously? How do you do that? Come on. So, I gotta say, time traveler, I'm crossing that off the list. So, we've crossed off time traveler, we've crossed off multiverse. What was the other one? Oh, the scalar technology holographic model. Those are 3 down, right? What else is left? Simulation theory. You got another theory? Oh, yeah, and magic. Magic. Spirit realm. Right? So we're in a magical spirit realm, or it's a fucking simulation, is what I'm saying. If we're in a magic spirit realm, then boogity boogity, right? I don't know, man. Like, let me get my candles, my spell books, and get some fucking some talismans and blah 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 blah, right? Like, oh boy, we're gonna do spell work now. I'm not saying that shit doesn't work. I'm just saying that shit works inside of a simulation because it's supposed to inside a simulation, right? Because we're inside of a video game. Okay? Basically. If magic spells work and we have aliens and we have like fallen angels and demons and blah 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 and God and all this kind of shit, it doesn't add up to me how things would be working the way they are here if it was real. Why do I say that? I say that because look at what has been going on and the way it's been going on. Does this seem to you like the work of ancient beings that have been around for tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years with the knowledge of all creation, taught by the father of lies, the greatest con artist in the history of all existence, right? Tens of thousands of years of experience and knowledge, brilliant beyond all understanding. And you're telling me that what's going on here in this world now is his work? Or the work of something like that? Think about it, dude. So that, to me, like, when you look at what's going on in the world now and how ridiculous and obvious and stupid it is, I say, this is not the work of, multi-tens of thousands of years old, or thousands of years old, hundreds of thousands of years old, millions of years old, super brilliant, all-knowing fucking intelligence. This I do not believe. And I'm not saying that there's not intelligence. I'm just saying it's not that level of intelligence. Like, no way. Right? So what are we left with? Simulation theory. Now it all makes sense. We're in a fucking video game. They do all kinds of crazy shit. There's a teenager in his basement who's like a super smart teenager. Half his teeth are missing. He smokes too much crack, but he's really goddamn smart, He's smoking a lot of weed in the basement. He thinks it's funny when he fucks with you, Like, that's when it starts to make sense, you know? Is when you start thinking of this as like a video game where there's like some video game developers and there's like hackers fucking coming in and they're like, you know, eating a bunch of Doritos and drinking Jolt Cola in the basement. And they're smoking weed and they're getting high and they're fucking smoking meth and they're fucking snorting lines of blow and they're just like fucking getting off and fucking with you and making things funny and they've decided to create a game that has religion in it so they can use God and the fucking devil and aliens and all this other kind of weird shit they can just to fuck with your head. Now it starts to make sense, doesn't it? A hell of a lot more than trying to make sense of thinking that the shit we're seeing in this world would be the kind of shit we would see from beings that had tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years to learn and grow and mature, and this is what they come up with. Think about it, dude. Come on. So, are you with me? Are you following what I'm saying here? Think about it. Any further questions? Okay then. Well, seriously, if you have any further questions or any way you'd like to retort so that I can, we can have a dialogue. If you think I'm wrong about simulation theory being the most valid thing, then tell me where I went wrong. Tell me, retort all you like. Let's go.